What's going on, people? Me and my guy Saul, King Talk, episode 3. So we're going to talk about some different things. The biggest thing we're going to talk about today is generational wealth and what generational wealth means to you, it means to me. So I'll let you go ahead and start us off. Just kind of tell people, what do you think about generational wealth? Why is it important to you? And how do you feel like you can achieve that?
Okay, generational wealth. Ooh. So this is pretty powerful. And I didn't even know what that meant until no joke. Jay-Z did his album. Can't remember the name of the album.
444.
Yeah, 444. That one.
Yeah.
So pretty much he was talking about how you invest in things and then you pass it down to your children. So I mean, before that, I didn't even know how to even do something like that. So now that I understand that, so example would be buying some Apple stock or buying some Amazon stock and then putting that in there and letting it sit, don't touch it, and letting that grow and then passing that down to them. Or buying when you get real money, buying a painting or something like that and just watch it grow and then hand that down. And it's more deeper than that. I guess that's almost just like a picture that we're painting. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how it's done. But there's other things you can do as far as like handing down a business or an idea, generational wealth, to be able to create something for them.
No, I agree. And so when I think about generational wealth, right? So yes, definitely I think about giving a business, giving a something tangible, the stock, a picture, but I also think about how do we keep that going, right? So we say generational wealth. How do we keep this going to our kids? I'm thinking skill set, right? Like what I'm teaching them, right? So I have my business, Flawless Fitness, right?
Yeah.
But I need to teach them how to grind, how to maybe start their own business, run my business, and keep that thing going on. Because it's like if somebody gave me $50,000 at 18, I probably would have blew it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to manage it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I agree with you. You know what I mean? On the forefront, having that. Hey, here's some stock, here's an investment, here's some things like that, but also teaching the skill set of like, hey, listen, I'm teaching you how to go hunt now.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Teach you how to go hunt.
And that's that made me get another part of what I was saying. Pretty much giving them that stock is not the end all be all.
Right.
Because like you said, giving them the money, that's not the end all be all. They didn't understand what it means to have this money. It doesn't mean you go spend it, make the money work for you.
Right.
Keep it in there.
Right.
Or take the money and put it somewhere else that you may think is a good investment.
Good.
But ultimately, just taking the money, and pretty much most kids if they don't know any better, they're just gonna take it out and spend it. Right. I mean, I would have took it out and spent it. Like
exactly.
my dad gave me $1 million in Apple stock. Like my dad gave me $1 million in Apple stock. I'm about to go spend it.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? But to understand what to do with that, we do need to give them those tools to know what to do with that. That's powerful.
No, I agree. I think you hear the term a lot. At least I hear the term a lot. Generational wealth, and I definitely think deeper, right? Like, because I always I don't know if I heard it somewhere or where it kind of came up with, but I always figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'll always be able to survive. Like I could lose everything tomorrow, and I'm gonna figure it out how to take care of my family, right? But I always think when I'm gone,
what's going on?
But how does this thing keep rolling, right?
That's true.
So I think the biggest thing, especially as being fathers, is like really, like how do I teach my kids everything I know plus some, right? Because then that kind of rolls me into my other thing is like, we come from our different backgrounds, right? And we work hard so our children aren't in those same positions, right? So, but a lot of the things we've learned was from being in that mud, being in that turmoil of life, right? And we've been able to push out. So now we're like, hey, how do we teach our kids how to, when they get knocked down, to stand back up? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's another topic in its own of when we talk about fatherhood, when we talk about generational wealth, because that's a part of generational wealth.
Yeah.
Fatherhood, how to be a father, how to love your kids, you know what I'm saying, unconditionally, when they may want to do something totally opposite from what you want them to do. You know what I'm saying?
Let them fly and do their thing.
Let them fly and do your thing. And I think even on the last one we were talking about, you were talking about how to help them find their passion. You know what I mean? So I think all those things kind of fall in that generational wealth conversation.
Yeah, and like I said, that's really powerful as a parent, and to be able to understand that and see that and like, oh, that's something I need to be doing from when they're born to when they get where they need to be. Like just understanding what it means to have generational wealth. Because at the end of the day, at some point you're gonna have that. Because I ain't gonna say that because I know my parents are gonna leave me, but I don't think I have generational wealth. No one gave me any money and said, hey, here you go do what you please, or to teach me that. So this is something we could start right now at our generation. And that sounds crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Because where I came from, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much smack dab in the middle of the hood, and we're just doing what I had to do to make it. And I joined the military because there was nothing really out there for me. So, and here I am with a decent amount of money and opportunity to teach that. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to the opportunity first. You don't just, hey, I got the opportunity. You got to get there first. And to get here, that's powerful to be able to do that.
No, I agree. You said something really that hit home for me. Like, you're excited, right?
Yeah.
So I have these mixed emotions, right? So I'm excited on one end, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like nerve-wracking on the other end, because I'm like, you know, it's all in my hands, right? Because I always say the tree stump starts with me. Like, I'm the stump of the Budd legacy,
Yeah.
right? And so while I embrace the challenge, I embrace the pressure, the other side of me is like, I have my moments where I'm like, whew, can I get it done, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's just human nature from wanting to be successful, right? So
that's true.
I think another aspect of it is too understanding your own faults, your own downfalls, and being able to translate that to your children and say, hey, listen, you know, you're gonna have some down moments.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, understand that they're gonna happen. Rainy days are gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, how do we get out of those? How do we stand up when we fall down?
Yeah, and I think that's something I learned real quick. To have success, you have to fail. Because if you never fail, then, I mean, like, are you really being successful? You're not trying hard enough.
Gotcha.
Like, you in your comfort zone if you ain't failing. So if you're failing, that means you're doing something right. You just got to keep moving, learn from that failure, and then that's how you grow. But if you just like, okay, things are working, take a look around real quick. What are your friends? How are things going on around you? You're probably too comfortable. You need to get out of that shell and break it to a new one.
Flawless Fitness. It's more than a brand. It's a movement.